Welcome to the Battle of the Brains segment of our show. Well, technology today is changing our world faster than ever. Fluorescent pigs, featherless chickens, genetically modified foods. Are scientists taking it too far? That's the question being asked around the country this morning after a young girl suffered a fatal anaphylaxis reaction after eating genetically modified soybeans, found to have contained the same protein as Brazil nuts. Transgenic organisms have been developed for a variety of applications, yet their ethical use is highly debated. Time now to go live with Dr. Mark Jackson and Nathan Smith. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Morning.
Firstly, Mark, could you please clarify what a transgenic organism is?
Well, Julia, a transgenic organism is one with an altered genome as a result of introducing a desired gene known as a transgene from another species and splicing it with the genome of another.
The first ethical point of debate involves the environment. Is it ethical to interfere with nature?
I'm a firm believer that we should embrace GM because of its enormous benefits to mankind. If we are able to make products that benefit us, it would be unethical not to develop them. There is the potential now to generate new foods and crops to tackle disease around the world. Take golden rust as an example. By modifying its genes, it can provide the daily vitamin A requirements for those in developing countries. Vitamin A deficiency is responsible for making more than 500,000 children go blind each year. That does not need to happen. GM crops can prevent this. Currently, the only genetically modified food crops produced in Australia are canola and cotton, which are both insect resistant. In BT cotton, a protein introduced is toxic to caterpillars that damage the plant, thus significantly reducing the need for herbicides and benefiting our environment and improving our crop productivity.
See, that's the problem though, Mark. These transgenic BT cotton plants produce their own pesticide. This exposes pests to the poison every day. Ultimately, this will cause pesticide resistance, making them extremely difficult to control. Also, variation in the gene pool is lowered, potentially leading to mass extinctions of wild species. It is unclear what the risks transgenic organisms pose if they breed. They may outcompete natural species or interbreed, for example, transferring the herbicide resistance trait to weeds. Though making these different species, we are changing the natural process of evolution. It's just wrong to tamper with nature in such a way.
Well, Nathan, at least acknowledge the benefits of transgenics to medicine. For example, insulin, which can be mass-produced through a bacteria. Isn't it incredible what science can achieve?
That may be so, but
There's even the prospect of genetically engineered bananas that contain a vaccine. What an easy, inexpensive way to vaccinate, especially children, without the need for a medical professional.
GM crops will pollute neighbouring organic crops, destroying the certification requirements. Cross-pollination of gene pools wouldn't be a problem if there were a total ban on transgenic organisms. The fear is, as we plant more and more genetically modified plants, genetic variation in traditional ones is just completely lost. Not only is that harmful for the environment, but for us as people as well.
Yes, that must be considered absolutely. However, having GM organisms can reduce the pressures on natural ecosystems. For example, farming GM salmon can reduce the risk of overfishing. Super salmon is a great example. It grows to the full size in half the time required of regular salmon, thus reducing costs significantly.
What upsets me most here is animal rights are being violated. Transgenic pigs grow faster and leaner, yet can't even stand because of arthritis, and mice develop cancer as a result of our scientific research. We don't know the consequence of altering one's growth rate and metabolism.
And is it true, Nathan, that consumers don't know what they're eating when it comes to what manufacturers can and can't do?
Yes, that is correct, Julia. The public may be completely oblivious about what they are consuming. Vegetarians may unknowingly eat food with animal DNA. Australian food standards allow manufacturers to use a wide range of GM food ingredients imported from overseas, including soybeans, corn, and rice. These GM products must have their GM status identified. However, this isn't the case for foods sold in restaurants. Isn't that just ridiculous? Mark mentioned earlier the use of GM canola. Many people use canola oil, yet wouldn't even know that they're consuming GM products.
I just can't see the argument here. If we can make products that have medical benefits, lower food costs, and aid the environment, it would be unethical not to do so. Even if we are unsure of the long-term consequences, we must embrace this technology and not be frightened of it.
Well, gentlemen, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you both for joining us. The jury's out. Now it's over to the news desk with the latest headlines.